The president made the decision because he's moving forward as we enter very historic times with the talks with North Korea, with the Iran deal, that very bad deal coming up for renewal, and continuing destabilizing activities that we're seeing by Russia. The president has a lot of respect for Secretary Tillerson, what he's done for our country, but he decided that as we're moving forward, he wanted to make a change, have that new team in place before we enter these historic times.
Okay, speaking of North Korea, though, do you think it's wise to make this kind of a switch when you consider the fact that the president is set to meet with North Korea's leader as soon as May?
I do, because what we need to make sure that we're doing, and this is where the president knows, what needs to be done. We need to make sure that our country is talking with one singular voice, and that's the voice of the president. As the president mentioned this morning, he and Secretary Tillerson had areas where they disagreed, but we need to make sure as we're dealing with these talks with North Korea, with the Iran deal, and then the destabilizing activities with Russia, that we're speaking with one voice, and that's the voice of President Donald J. Trump.
What does Mike Pompeo bring to the table that Tillerson didn't?
I think one of the biggest things, when you take a look at Director Pompeo's resume, West Point, time in Congress, now time as the director of the CIA, he is a man of remarkable accomplishments. He and the president have a great chemistry together. They have from the very beginning. So I think it's just an outstanding choice, because when the Secretary of State, as with Mike Pompeo in that role, when he speaks, he is speaking the voice and the mind of the President of the United States.
Now, Mark, I keep hearing you say one voice, but the president has kind of prided himself on the fact of having several different voices and not always agreeing with some of the people that he nominates.
I think that's true when you're having policy discussions, when you're behind the scenes. The president takes in all information, and he wants to hear from people who don't necessarily share the same view. But when you're going out and representing the United States on the world stage, we reference one voice, one thought process. That's the president's, and I think that's one of the reasons why you saw the president make the change at this time, because he knows that we have a strong leader in Secretary of State designate Mike Pompeo, and he's going to be a great Secretary of State.
Newsmax TV. Watch us on Dish, DirecTV, AT&T Uverse, Verizon Fios, or download our free app. Don't have Newsmax TV? Call your local cable provider and request Newsmax today.